Guys, I'm about to share with you my worst fishing trip of the year. Actually, worst in a long time. I just went an 8-hour fishing day and did not catch a single keeper bass. My good friend Johnny Schultz from Fish the Moment, we fished together. Went out trying to film some content. I'm going to share with you guys just the reality of bass fishing, how it does happen, how it can make you a better angler, and just some of the mistakes we made that day. So guys, let's go now into the video. So guys, Johnny and I met up at a lake. It was a lowland reservoir, and this was early April, probably April 2nd or 3rd, I believe, just so you guys know. Now here in Arkansas where we've been at, and we're in central Arkansas at this lake this day, we've had an early warming trend, and we've had some rain. But guys, I mean, there's fish spawning, and even on this lake spawning that I know of, 5 weeks prior. But still, guys, when we went out on this lake this day, of course, we want to try to find and catch bass offshore. Now, we talked about making a shallow video, and we actually found some shallow fish, as I'm going to get into that. But we stuck to trying to find bass offshore. And what then I learned from this fishing trip, just to share you guys, once again, I've not gone 8 hours in a whole day and not catching a keeper bass. I can't tell you last time that happened, okay? And part of that is, guys, I'm sharing with you, you do learn stuff from it, as I'm about to share, and that it happens. It happens to good anglers. I mean, guys, even me this year, I've had a crazy year so far. Caught some big fish, been a part of some big fish catches. I've had a lot of you friends in the boat, you know, a lot of you guys out there watching the channel in the boat during my guide trips and my electronic lessons. But this was my worst one of the year. And with Johnny. As y'all guys watch Johnny, you know. And guys, just real quick, I just thought about it. Hey, me and Johnny did a podcast. All right, my podcast, Real Life and Fishing. Hey, I'll put it as an end screen. But go guys, check it out. Me and Johnny went and shared a couple stories and, man, some good stuff. I don't know why I just thought about that. Y'all go check it out, okay? But guys, we had a tough fishing trip. And Johnny's had a lot of tough fishing trips lately. Johnny's had a lot of tough ones as well. And it's part of it. Now, here's what I learned from it, guys. At this day, that you can't force a bite. And I say can't force a bite. I think that there's always fish offshore, in a way. And I like catching them offshore. But this lake, guys, the water went up. It kind of went back down. And I'm thinking post-spawn, I'm going to try to find some of them fish that went out to deeper water first. Okay? And guys, we looked and looked. We couldn't find them. There's also that theory in post-spawn time that they get tight to cover. Well, this lake has bushes all around it that's flooded. And I just told you guys the lake went up, and I think every single fish, not every, man, I know there's not every single fish, but that day every single fish was in the bushes. We even started fishing bushes, and Johnny caught 3 quick. I lost a good one. He lost a good one. We then kind of stayed in that area. Then we went back out. We were determined to find fish off. And I learned from this day, early April, on this lake, hey, they're not out there. I mean, they're not, even though it's as hard as I wanted them to be. Maybe if it was cooler still and some fish could have been out there. But guys, it was a tough fishing day. Did a lot of graphing, looking at the scope. I only think I might have threw it 2 bass the whole day, maybe, out there. It was crazy. But guys, I'm sharing this with you to let you know that this happens. This happens not just to me. I know it happens to you guys. I've heard people, you know, message me on my Facebook. Hey, I've had a hard time catching fish. Guys, it happens to us too. Fishing is not always roses, rainbows, unicorns, and big bass, okay? It's just not, all right? So, once again, when you have these tough fishing trips, I'm now going to share with you some tips, okay? When you have these tough fishing trips, log it out. Remember, I'm always about having a fish log, a fish diary. Log it out. So on this day, I've logged the conditions, the pre-conditions, the post-conditions. I logged it out. And basically, I made a note saying they're not going to be offshore here ever, okay? So don't even go back to the lake unless you want to flip bushes and throw a frog, which I threw a frog for a while. Lost a good one on the frog, and then, you know, I thought I was going to catch more on it, but I never got another bite with it. So that was part of my log for that day, okay? So guys, when you have these tough fishing trips, good trips, bad trips, whatever, make sure you have a log. Then, guys, try to think what you could have done different. For us this day, I think if we would have stayed shallow and kept power fishing and moving, and we got a couple bites and slowed down, we would have put together a little limit. We would have put together 10, 12, 13 pounds, maybe. One of our guys that watches the channel, I'm not going to say your name out of privacy. He's a guy I've done a trip with. He caught 1 over 5 that day. He only caught 1 bass, I think. That was a keeper, and it was a 5-pounder. And he didn't catch it flipping bushes. He told me how he caught it with shout out. It's always good to hear people that I go out and do lessons with. They go out and catch fish, doing stuff we go and talk about. It's always good to hear that. I was excited to see that. I'd rather him catch the fish than I did, but still, I didn't catch a single bass that day, guys. did not catch one single bass. And guys, you look right now at the MLF. MLF's going on at Dale Hollow. Okay, everybody's fired up that Drew Gill. Well, not everybody's fired up. I mean, some people ain't a fan. But like, I'm over here like Drew Gill on day one just kicked everybody's butt. And day two's going on, and last time I looked, he's doing the same thing. But guys, after day one, Edwin Evers had 2 fish. Fred Wimbanis, 1 fish. Guys, always you look at the top of the leaderboard like, oh, they're catching them. Like, look at Lake Fork, for example. People go to watch the Lake Fork tournaments, and you see the top, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's Fork. But look at the bottom. Guys, still pro anglers struggle too. They struggle too. Edwin Evers is one of the best. Okay, and he caught 2 fish, 2 keeper fish. Guys, it happens to them, and it happens to me. It happens to you too. So don't get discouraged on bad fishing trips. Don't get discouraged. In the spring, tough time of year to fish. I'm out here right now, post front, got to get pretty outside. These days right here, they don't eat well. They do not eat well. This morning was cloudy. We just had 3 days of rain. Now we got this. They're not going to eat well. I already know they're not going to eat well, but I came out here to learn something, and to kind of come out here, try to find a couple things, get some videos filmed, and I know that going in. So you guys start studying the weather and start kind of having more of that understanding, and it'll help you go out and catch more bass as well. But guys, so just let me know what you think about the video. Let me know, doctors, hey, when's your last time you had a tough fishing trip? Or if you've not had a tough fishing trip this year. I know for me, that was my first one of the year that was that long of a day. I know when I go out 2 to 3 hours, sometimes it can be good or not good. But guys, it happens. The reality of bass fishing, you don't always catch them.